Alright, so now we're going to do environmental data. It's a lot like how you did the water quality data. So you're going to go back into your SparkView application. You're going to click on where it says environmental quality data. You're going to go ahead and click again on that cover page to open up the experiment. And use the arrows at the bottom to go through the questions. So again, it'll ask you the date and what your organization or school is. Alright, the first thing that we need to do is take our latitude and our longitude. We can do this using a GPS device. We also have a set of instructions inside the actual experiment just in case you forget some of the steps. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take our GPS device, hold the red button down to turn it on, and we're going to press page 3 times to get out of our default screen. Okay, so once you're out of your default screen, you're going to wait for the satellites to acquire the information, and it's actually going to send a signal down to give you your global positions. Once you have those positions, you're going to see 2 sets of numbers at the bottom of your screen. One has an N in front of it for north, and the other has a W in front of it for west. You want to write those numbers into your latitude and longitude spaces. So north or N will be your latitude, and west or W will be your longitude. Make sure you write all those numbers down because that actually means you have a more accurate reading than just a generalized area. Alright, once you're finished with those, make sure you're recording in your data binder, just like with water quality, and in your smart device. And then you can move on to your next page. You can also use your GPS for the next questions, which want to know about high tide status. Which want to know about tide status. Alright, so for your tide status, you're going to press menu twice in your GPS. Scroll down to celestial and press enter. Press enter again on tides. And then wait for your satellites to acquire the information. Once you get that information, you're going to see a graph on your screen. It's going to have 2 large waves and 2 troughs. You use these waves to determine what your tide status is. And you're also going to look for a target crosshair. So wherever your target crosshair is on those waves is your tide status. If it's going up the wave, that means it's incoming. If it's at the very top, it's high tide. If it's going down the wave, it's outgoing. And if it's at the very bottom of the trough, it's a low tide. Once you've gotten your tide status, we want to know what time the next high tide will be. So from your crosshair, you look at the very next wave. And at the top of your screen where the graph is, you'll see a set of numbers. So you're going to read that wave as close to the number as possible. For example, on this screen, it's close to the number 7. And it's going to be 7 p.m. But we know that we want an accurate reading, so we can't just say about 7 o'clock. So then we go into the bottom, and it has a more accurate, it says 6:28 p.m. So we know that 6:28 p.m. is going to be our next high tide. Go ahead and record that in your smart device and in your data binder. Alright, moving on to your next page, we're actually going to get to our environmental data recordings. Just like before with water quality, you're going to be using your AirLink device, which is sending the Bluetooth signal to your smart device. And this time you're going to plug in something called an anemometer. An anemometer measures wind speed. This anemometer also measures air temperature and relative humidity. So go ahead and plug that in. Thank you, Caitlin. Alright. Again, just as with water quality, you're going to go to the top of your SparkView application and look for those circles. Press those circles, and you're going to connect your sensor or your Bluetooth device to your application. Alright, make sure it's on again. Alright, once it's connected, we can go ahead and have your volunteer hold it up towards where the wind is coming from, kind of like the Statue of Liberty. And you're going to press that green play button, and it'll run for about 30 seconds. Alright, so it's been about 30 seconds. You're going to go ahead and write those measurements down into your data binder, and then you're also going to save it into your SparkView application. And again, how you save it is you go and you press that triangle at the top of your application, click on Save File, and then we're able to go back and look at that information if we need to. Now that you know how to collect water quality and environmental data, you can review it again if you need to, or you can move on to the next station. If you've already done that, we look forward to seeing you.